Alright guys, video 7. I think for this video I'm just going to go ahead and do the appearance. And if we have any time I can quickly go over the plugins and everything else so we can fit in. But for now I'll just try and do the appearance and we'll go from there. When you roll your cursor over the appearance tab, you'll see a bunch of different options that come up. Themes, widgets, menus, background, header, and editor. What I'm going to do is just start from the top and go through each one and what each one means. If you click on themes, obviously this is where you see what theme you're using and the available themes that we have uploaded through GoDaddy. You'll notice, obviously, we're using the Agentpress 2.0 by StudioPress. Down here, the Genesis framework. That is basically what Agentpress is pulled from and how it's set up. I'm pretty sure all of the themes by StudioPress are generated and they run off of this Genesis framework. So that's why you see that down in there. And the only other things that that you see is this mobile app, or this mobile plugin, I'm sorry, that was in here actually before I started, and I left it. I wasn't sure if you guys wanted to keep it the way it is as far as the mobile app goes. I know there's some other plugins that may or may not work better. That's just kind of a matter of testing out each plugin and seeing how your site appears on an iPad or an iPhone. So I left those. The other themes I pretty much deleted that we're not using. I think obviously there was an Elegant Estate theme. I think that was the one you guys were using from the very beginning. And the reason I deleted those, a couple of different reasons. I wanted to clear up the space. You know, I know we were having trouble with the site running a little bit slow, and I know GoDaddy had a lot to do with that. But I wanted to still clear up, you know, whatever we weren't using, just to try and make the site as fast as we possibly could. The other reason, you know, when you're using WordPress for a real estate site, there's just so many different custom features that go into the Agentpress site. You have the IDX search widget, you have all of the featured listings, blog posts can be displayed differently, and there's different things that go into different themes, especially with real estate. And if we just switched over what we have with this Agentpress theme to the Elegant Estate theme, nothing's going to match up because it's all built differently. And you know, the only way that there's the option to switch themes. We could switch over, but we have to kind of rebuild the site and how it's going to look. It's not just going to make the transition smoothly because of the way that it's set up and the way things are located and whatnot. So if that makes sense, that's kind of why I deleted it, because just switching it over, you kind of just have to start from scratch and build it up. So that's why I took off all the other things. And I think the only other two themes that were here are just the two original themes that are automatically installed from WordPress when you start an account. And I think that was pretty much it. So that's kind of the themes real quick. Widgets and menus, I'm pretty sure we already went over in previous videos. The widgets option is just where everything is located on the site. You have your header right, and right now we have the social media widget there. So if you click on the home page, you'll see this is obviously the header right, and this is the social media widget that I installed and have all your accounts linked to, and then so on. But again, I'm pretty sure we already covered widgets, so I won't get too deep into that. Menus, again, this is where you would go to customize the primary menu that you see on the home page. And by primary menu, I basically mean all the different page options that you have right here. And again, you would do that in the menu section. Background, this you would use if you wanted to install a custom image in the background, which I've actually done for another realtor in Chicago. If you go to the Real Estate Web Creation website, you'll see an example of the Agentpress theme with a custom image in the background. It's in the portfolio section of that website. I won't do it here because I'm pretty sure you have to do it. You have to upload the image that you want through GoDaddy, through the file system there. I think if you try and do it here, yeah, it's not, you keep getting this error. So I think that's how you have to select a custom background image. And that's pretty much obviously all you'll see from this option. The header, right now obviously we have Verbode, Smart, Urban, Green. If you wanted to put a customized header in, you would do that here, and you can install that through, if you choose upload, choose the file that you want, you would install the header there. I know, Sarah, you liked the, let me see if I can find it, the 904, this website here. This right here that you see, this top portion, 904 Living, powered by ERA, whatever, Realty, and then the call today. This is probably done by a graphic designer. They probably just had this whole image as when they had their logo, this little logo here, and then the call today logo. They probably had that all installed on just a custom image that was the exact dimensions of the header on this theme, and then this is probably where they installed it under header. So if that was our header, that's what we wanted. We had it designed, and it was the appropriate dimensions, which is this square right here, 960 by 125. We would upload that image of 960 by 125, and then we could have a custom header like you see on that 904 site. So that's kind of where they got that. At least that's what I'm assuming. And then let's just say down the road we installed the header. We thought it looked like crap, so we wanted to take it out. We can just easily remove it right here. This, if you had that custom image, you obviously wouldn't want to display Verbode, Smart Urban Green, so we could just choose no, and it takes out the text that we had in there, and you just have that image, which I'm sure the 904 site did. Obviously, along with what they have there, they don't have the text that goes along with the site, so that's what you would use that for. Text color, you can change the color, and obviously they're using colors, the HTML colors. I'm not sure if you're familiar with how websites read colors, but each color is assigned a certain number value, and it usually starts with the number sign, and it either has like a number code or a combination of letters and numbers, and that's where they get the number 333. I'm not even sure what color that is off the top of my head, but it's some sort of variation that you would see right here. So black obviously equals number sign with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. Red number sign with 2F and 4 zeros, and so on. And you can save your changes anytime you make a change. If you input a custom header, always make sure to hit Save Changes before you click off the screen, so you save it. Again, that publishes it, but you always want to save it because, again, it also saves the changes, and you have to go back into the header and redo what you just did. Editor, this is where you would input all your custom programming to the theme in different segments. As far as theme functions go, you wanted the theme to have, I don't know, there's a whole lot you could get into here. I don't really want to get into it, but if you wanted to do any sort of customization to the theme, you would do it here. I generally don't like to do that because a lot of these themes were built the way they were for a reason, and if you try and customize it too much, then you could have a whole lot of headaches on your hands, and it's just kind of easier to use the theme for the way that they were meant to be used. Sarah, I know you like the double menu. If we wanted to actually put in the double menu, it would require a lot of work, but you could kind of do it over here in the theme functions code. Input, we wanted a secondary menu, and you'd have that. I mean, again, it takes a lot more work than that, but that's where you would do it at least. So that's kind of what the appearance is for. That gives you all the different options as far as what you can do with the appearance of the site. So hopefully you found that useful. Let's see how much time we got. We still have about 5-6 minutes, so we'll quickly go over plugins. If you click plugins, and I'm sure just judging off of what you guys had when I started, there were quite a few plugins. I'm sure you're a little bit familiar with each one. This is basically where you would come to, first of all, see what plugins you're using. You could come here to deactivate a plugin, edit the plugin, and so forth. But if you also wanted to add, you found out about this really cool plugin you wanted to install, and it was a must-have, and you knew all about it, you would just go to Add New. Let's just say it was a Facebook plugin, so we could type in Facebook, search plugins, and this search is all of the WordPress plugins that are out there. All you have to do is just go through, find which plugin you were talking about, and then click Install Now, and then all of a sudden that plugin isn't installed to your site. And then once it's plugged in, depending on what it does, if it was a widget plugin or whatnot, all you'd have to do is just go to Appearance, Widgets, find the plugin that you just installed. If it was that new Facebook plugin I was talking about, it would probably say something like Facebook. I mean, right now the plugins that we're using say social media. So if you find it, I don't know, it's there right there, but the plugin that you would just install would be installed over in this available widget section. All we have to do is just drag it and drop it where we wanted, and that's how you would install that new customary widget plugin that we were talking about. Again, not all plugins are widget plugins. There's different plugins for different reasons, like the ID Express plugin. That was something we installed using the Diverse Solutions MLX or MLS stuff. Obviously, that plugin just displayed options that you see right here. And I'm not sure if I've covered this yet. I might as well since I'm talking about it. The DS ID Express, that's the Diverse Solutions IDX. If you click that, this will take you to basically the dashboard of the Diverse Solutions IDX. You'll never use it. This just shows that our current status is active. That means the plugin is working okay. Sometimes when it's not working okay, you'll see inactive here in red, and then you'll see a reason why it's inactive. Like if before when the IDX wasn't working, if there was an issue with our activation key that they gave us, and instead of saying yes here, it had no in red, and it had inactive. I emailed Diverse Solutions, trying to figure it out why the IDX wasn't working. They emailed me back and said it was because of GoDaddy. They seemed to have fixed it, so when I logged back in, the current status was back to active, and this was back to yes. So anytime that your IDX is not working, if you're on the front of the site and you're trying to look up a listing or something, and you see for some reason nothing's coming up, always go into WordPress, go to your DS ID Express dashboard that you see right here, and this will probably tell you why. 9 times out of 10 it'll tell you why the IDX is not working, and then you can kind of go from there. Most of the time when it's not working, it's an issue with Diverse Solutions, so you're just going to probably have to contact them, but at least you can see why it's not working, whether it's your activation key, whether it's, I don't know, whatever all this other stuff is, but that'll tell you why. So that's kind of that Diverse Solutions Express plugin. Options, I'm going to be honest, I've actually never really clicked on this options part. Template for details page. Okay, so I guess this contact information is kind of useful. Right now, obviously, Sarah, you're going to be the one that if somebody's interested in a listing that you see on the front end, if they click on contact, I'll go to the front end of the site, and if we go to neighborhoods, we go to Cleveland. So if I'm interested in this home right here, I'm not even sure what that address means. Route 1, 180A. I don't. That's a new one. We don't have a lot of addresses that look like that in Chicago, but if I was interested in this listing and I click it, and looking over all the information, I really like it. So if if I wanted to contact you, Sarah, about it, I would type in my name here and submit the contact form. That would obviously go to you, and that's because the contact information was set under the options button from Diverse Solutions, and it has your email right there. So that is that. How much time we have? Only got about a minute left. I'll just end this video. The next one I will go over settings, and some of this stuff you guys probably won't use a whole lot, but I'll kind of go over and explain what it is. Your quick cache. Basically, all this is it's a performance issue. WordPress, whenever a WordPress site isn't running really quickly, it probably has something to do with your cache not being installed correctly. So this was just a quick cache plugin that I installed, which, long story short, it just improves the performance of the site, and it hopefully makes it a little bit faster. So that's why I installed it. This is nothing more than a plugin that I installed. Once the plugin was installed, it gave me this option here, and this is where you can configure the options. Usually these plugins are set, all the options are all set up the way you want them to be, so you never have to deal with the options, but if you wanted to, you would go to the options there. So that's basically what that is. And I am running out of time, so we'll move on. In the next video, I'll try and cover some of these other options, and that should be it. And we'll go from there.